there's been significant growth in women's sports seen over the past few years. This includes a noticeable increase in media coverage, with major broadcasters now dedicating meaningful airtime to women's sporting events, as well as a rise in sponsorship deals for women athletes and teams, reflecting the growing commercial viability of women's sports. There's also been landmark policy changes such as Title IV, where we saw the U.S. women's national soccer team secure equal pay with their male national team counterparts, something that several other nations have followed suit with or are in the process of doing so. And this increase in growth is being seen across multiple sports, with women athletes achieving remarkable success domestically and on the international stage. Garnering attention and recognition in events like the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, which saw records smashed in attendance, viewership, social media engagement, and revenue. Or more recently, when 18.9 million viewers tuned in to watch the NCAA Women's Basketball Finals between South Carolina and Iowa, a 90% increase over the 9.92 million who watched the 2023 finals. We are witnessing a societal shift in perceptions of women in sports, with female athletes being increasingly celebrated for their athletic abilities rather than solely being judged on their appearance or gender. And yet, despite all of the positive growth just described, we still continue to see a significant number of girls drop out of sports before age 18. All around the world, girls are engaging in less physical activity than boys. But the difference between genders is particularly noticeable in adolescence. By age 14, girls are quitting sports at double the rate of boys. And in Canada, where I'm from, by age 18, the rate is tripled, with 1 in 3 girls having dropped out of sport compared to 1 in 10 boys. Considering over 50% of both boys and girls start playing sports between the ages of 6 and 8 years old, it is concerning to see the bigger decline in girls' participation once teenage years hit. But why should we care about this? Well, globally, physical inactivity is the 4th leading cause of death and is a risk factor for heart disease, stroke, certain cancers, and type 2 diabetes, just to name a few conditions. And when it comes to participating in team sports, there are several benefits beyond having fun and improving your social life. Research has shown that our mental health is better, we are more resistant to stress, we have increased life satisfaction, kids have higher grades in school, and risky behaviors such as drug and alcohol use is reduced. Okay, so we know this is an issue, but why are we seeing such a drop-off in teen girls participating in sports? Well, of course, there's not just one explanation for this, so I'll describe some of these reasons. First is access. More specifically, difficulties with accessing sport due to a lack of time, availability, awareness of sport, and location issues. For many girls, a lack of time is raised as a common issue, typically the result of parents not being able to take their kids to sport because of their work schedule or other time commitments. Another access issue is a lack of availability and awareness of sport. At young ages, it is not uncommon to see mixed gender participation with girls and boys playing sports together. However, there's often been an age cutoff where this is no longer allowed and girls and boys must play separately. For example, until 2011, the Football Association in England forced girls and boys to play single-gender soccer from age 10 onwards. This saw many girls affected as there was often no girls' team available in the community. Fortunately, this rule has changed in many countries, with mixed-gendered sports now permitted among older-aged youth. With that said, unfortunately, there are many girls who still cite lack of availability or being unaware of sport in the community as a reason for why they don't play. And then there are location issues. For some, sport is available in their city or town, but the location of the practice facilities or where games are played are difficult to access based on where the family lives. For those girls, the geographical barriers are just too much to overcome. The next barrier is quality of the sport and quality of experiences. Specifically, poor quality coaching has been a contributing factor to girls quitting sport. In addition, not enough positive role models was cited as a reason for not continuing with sport. This is not surprising, as 10 to 20% of girls reported celebrities and high-performance athletes as what influenced them to participate in sport. And given women's sports has only recently become more accessible on television, it is likely that apart from major sporting events like the Olympics, many girls aren't able to consistently see female athletes perform. Sport being inappropriately designed for girls has also been mentioned as a quality issue, which is likely a reflection of the poor quality coaching mentioned earlier or poor administration in running leagues. The next barrier is cost. Across children and youth of all ages, participating in community-organized sports is less common among lower-income families than compared to higher-income families. In fact, a 2018 report about physical activity in the United States found that among households earning at least $100,000 per year, only 12% of children did not participate in sport. This was compared to households earning less than $25,000 per year, in which 30% of children did not participate in sport. In Canada, parents spend on average nearly $1,700 per year on their kids' sporting activities. For many parents who are not high-income earners, signing their children up for organized sport is just not feasible, particularly when factoring in other related costs such as gas money to travel for games, or the rising price of services such as hotels for out-of-town tournaments. Next is religion and culture. Perhaps not immediately thought of as a barrier, but 1 in 10 girls in Canada indicate that religion and culture play a significant role in preventing their participation in playing sports. But this is not just unique to Canada. Isha Nayyar, a South Asian Hindu woman and professional basketball player in England, and Rihanna Khalil, a Pakistani Muslim woman and teammate of Isha, have both spoken up about the lack of South Asian representation in women's sports. And they've noted cultural influences such as immigrants not knowing where to sign their kids up for sport outside of school, as well as the belief held in South Asian and Muslim communities that an ideal woman should not be participating in sport, but should be at home tending to her family and kids. As I mentioned earlier, positive athlete role models can have a huge impact on influencing girls to participate in sports. And this is particularly important for those girls who have historically struggled to see women athletes of their race, culture, ethnicity, or religion reflected in the media. In 2020, U.S. women's national soccer team player Crystal Dunn highlighted just how important this is during an interview with fellow American soccer player Brianna Pinto.
There was a girl who's changed my life. I just met her on my way to Chelsea when I was playing overseas, and she basically told me that I look like her, and she is so much more driven now to play this sport because she feels confident in knowing that there are people that look like her that have reached the highest level. So I think it's moments like that I'm like, oh my gosh, it means so much more than just playing the sport. You know, you're changing lives.
Next is body image. It has been reported that the percentage of girls reporting negative body image as a barrier to continuing in sport increases from 10% in girls under the age of 12 to 35% of girls aged 16 to 18 years old. And unfortunately, reasons such as not feeling like they had the right body shape has commonly been cited. This includes feeling like the unisex clothing made for sports often doesn't fit right for girls, particularly during puberty when hips widen. Other body-related reasons include menstruation, with pain, fatigue, lower confidence, and fear of leakage cited as factors impacting the likelihood of sport participation. Finally, there are a few other reasons for why girls quit playing sport by age 18, and this includes girls identifying alternative hobbies such as dance, photography, art, or playing an instrument, for example. A lack of confidence or perceived low skill has also been mentioned as reasons for why girls quit playing sport. And lastly, serious injury or concerns about safety. As you can see, the barriers preventing girls from fully participating in sports are multifaceted and deeply ingrained in societal norms and structures. From challenges with sport access and poor quality experiences, to cultural and gender stereotypes and biases, these obstacles hinder girls from reaping the numerous physical, mental, and social benefits of sport participation. However, by addressing these barriers through policy changes, community initiatives, and shifting cultural attitudes, we can create a more inclusive and equitable environment where all girls have the opportunity to thrive in sports, empowering them to reach their full potential on and off the field. Well, if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching my video. With the rising popularity of women's sports around the world, I'm curious if you think we'll see a shift in less girls quitting sport by age 18. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please drop a comment down below. This is the first of many videos this channel will be posting, which will be dedicated to discussing various sports-related topics, taking a unique approach of exploring the potential psychological impact and thought process of athletes. If that sounds interesting to you, please be sure to subscribe and keep an eye out for the next video.